My name is Michelle Dirksey, and I run a small interior design firm here in Seattle, Washington. And today I want to tell you a bit about what I look for when receiving job applications in resumes and portfolios, because I feel like in school they teach some of this, but not all of it. And there's just a lot of information out there, and I wanted to go over what I think is really helpful when applying for jobs. I'm Michelle Dirksey, an interior designer based here in Seattle, Washington. And in this series, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know about interior design. So it all starts with the first email, and what I'm hoping to see is a resume and a portfolio, and I'm going to go into the details of each one. So what I look for in a resume is the job titles, the dates, the duties, your accomplishments, and the programs that you can use. So I'm surprised to find many job applicants don't list the actual job title. They just say where they worked. And while it is helpful for me to know where you worked because I can look up that firm and see what kind of work they do, I want to know what you did. That brings me to the duties. A junior designer or an intermediate designer or a senior designer can mean so many different things. So if you list what you did and your accomplishments, then I know if you truly are a fit for the position and what I'm looking for. Duties that I'm really looking for are, did you source items? Did you shop for the items? Did you put together a finishes and fixtures schedule? Did you do the drawings? What kind of drawings did you do? Were they AutoCAD, SketchUp, Revit? Did you use a photo rendering program that is a plugin for SketchUp? Do you know how to do Photoshop? Do you have examples of all those things? And all of those examples should be in your portfolio. But before we get to that, one last thing that I really like to see in a resume is a job that, even if it's not interior design, I want to see where you're coming from. And I also love seeing, especially from recent graduates, if you had a job that isn't related to interior design. You worked at a restaurant, you were a server. To me, that shows that you're going to be willing to wash the windows when we have a photo shoot and that you know how to work as part of a team. Like, work isn't done until the work is done. And I want a team of team players. Portfolio. Okay, so I feel like for interior design, this is the biggest thing. Resume, it tells me that you've worked. I love to see the jobs that you've had, but portfolio really tells me what kind of work and the level of work that you're doing. What I'm surprised by is that I feel I get a lot of portfolios that are just student work, and they're the exercises that people were given as a student, or if they're a senior person, it's completed work. And so what I really need is kind of this middle point. I need to see the deliverables, but I also need to see how you got there. So by deliverables, I mean, yeah, I want to see a photo of the end product if there is a photo of the end product, but more so what I want to see is examples of your drawings, examples of a finishes and fixtures schedule, examples of a vignette, and examples of a presentation. So if you designed a kitchen, I want to see the floor plan, the elevation views, but then I also want to see a vignette of the tile that you chose, a rendering of that kitchen, a finishes and fixtures schedule. I know that that's not pretty. It's not something you normally include in your portfolio, but that shows me that you know how to do the work, that you have done that before. And really, that's what I want to see. I want to see what have you done and how it applies to my firm. The other thing I really want to see is an example of a furniture vignette. So where you may have worked may not represent your style. So put together a furniture vignette and a floor plan that is what you want to do more of. That's easy. It can be a made-up space. It can be your own living room. Draft your own living room, do an elevation, and then plug in furniture that you actually would want to use. Show me something special instead of just what you did at your last firm or what your professor told you to do. Also, stop shopping at West Elm and CB2 for your portfolios, because it should be the dream. If you're making up a space, you get to shop anywhere and there is no budget. So do that. If you only have West Elm and CB2 furniture pieces in your portfolio, to me that says that's the only price point you understand. And I'm not going to be having you shop at that price point alone. We're going to shop many sources. So show me a variety of price points so that I know you're aware of where to shop. In general, when you're applying, make sure that you fully read the job description. Sometimes I'll get applicants for a senior position that, they're a carpenter, and the job posting clearly states that you need to have worked at a firm before and that you need to have a design degree. So if you're a carpenter applying for a senior designer position, I don't know what you're thinking is going to happen, but that isn't going to work. I also really do not enjoy when I get a phone call. If the job posting says to email, please just email. An example of not following the directions doesn't reflect highly on the applicant. Sometimes people will email asking if they can apply. And by asking me, you're giving me the job of replying to you. So if we're not actively hiring, but you want to apply anyway, just do it. Send in a great letter saying why you want to work there. At the end of the day, I want to know that someone wants to work for our firm. And so if you could say why you reached out to us, that sets you apart as well. If it's just that you want a job, I get that. But if it's that you're drawn to our style and that it reflects your style, show me that in your portfolio. Show me that you've done work that's similar in your resume, and then I'll be able to see that you're a good fit. I hope that hearing a bit about what I'm looking for in job applicants will help you to be able to put together a great resume and portfolio so that you can get the job that you want.